beta demo day here at Brushy Motorsports Park. And in typical Brushy fashion, it is slippery as hell because it rained all last night. So right now I'm riding the Xtrainer, and it's a good little, this is a pretty easy loop so far. Definitely has a lot of torque and a lot of tractability. I feel like the suspension's probably a little bit understrung for me because I feel like I'm riding really deep in the stroke and it's really rough. Like I feel every hit. But overall it's not bad. There's a lot of vibration, especially in the foot pegs. Really feeling it. I feel like this bike would be very happy in the single track. I'm sitting down. It feels like for hard hits, the suspension works really well. It's the little chop that it really does not have under control. Can't really tell if there's just not enough damping or what, but you really feel the little chop. Power is very, very linear. I've actually never ridden a cross trainer at like a little bit more speed, which not a lot of speed to be had here today. It's a nice descent here. Really like the brakes. The front brake lever is not adjusted very well for my baby hands, but brakes are really nice. Very, very easy to modulate. Yeah, this power is very nice. It's very unintimidating, but there's a lot of torque. It almost doesn't, I have no idea what gear I'm in, so it almost doesn't matter what gear you're in. There's basically no hit. It's just really tractable power, which is really awesome. Let's see what we got here. A lot of mud. So I am 5'11", 180-ish pounds without gear, and this bike doesn't really feel small. When I'm standing on it, it does not feel small to me. When I'm sitting on it, it also doesn't really feel that small. So it's pretty good. Like I as a full-size person, I could ride this bike and be pretty comfortable. I feel like the bars are really nice. It's a pretty flat bar. Not a lot of rise. Yeah, this, aside from the vibration, this engine is really nice. And once you start going faster, the suspension works pretty well. I will echo my comment I made in a previous demo that this feels to me like the suspension on my old 2013 KTM XCW, the open cartridge WP stuff, before they went to Explore, which works really well when you start going a little bit quicker. And this seems like it's kind of the same. Once you start going a little bit faster, a lot of the chop disappears. But overall, it's pretty composed. It's granted, this is not hitting anything super hard here. some of these little jumps, it's not bad. Not going super fast because it's super wet and there's a lot of brushy death clay. I feel like the could use a little bit more compression damping, but on that, our engine is really awesome. You could just, there's so much traction on this bike. Just endless traction. This is really slick, wet clay, and this bike is having no problems whatsoever. It is actually kind of amazing to me. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be a muddy mess after today. It's like this mid-level pace is where the suspension really feels pretty bad, where you start to feel all the chop, so you're not really going fast enough to be going over it, but you are hitting it at decent speed, so the suspension can't react properly. But even the bottoming resistance is actually pretty good. And I know I'm talking a lot about the suspension, but I feel like that's probably the weakest point of this bike. So far, if I had to kind of sum it up in this relatively short ride, I'd say the engine and luggability and traction are definitely the standouts of this bike. Really easy to ride, no hit, tons of traction. Ergonomics are pretty good, probably slightly better for a person that's a little bit smaller than me, but even for my size, if I'm riding slower stuff, it's probably fine. It's where I really want to get into the attack position. That's where I'm noticing that the bars are a little bit too close to me. Like the bike's a little bit too short for me, probably. And I could probably move the bars forward, and it'd probably be better. But overall, it doesn't feel small. Like, it does not. It feels kind of compact, but it doesn't really feel tiny. It doesn't feel like you're riding a kid's bike. The brakes are awesome. Very predictable. I just wanted to see how much traction I had. And traction is just amazing. And this is something that I'll keep saying about Beta. It's a bike that I can jump on and feel instantly comfortable on. Like, I jump on some of my friends' KTMs, and I normally ride a KTM or a gas, and I feel really weird. This bike feels perfect to me. I mean, setup-wise, like I would adjust the brake a little bit, but that's about it. This is what he was talking about. Yeah, great bike. Except for, you know, the suspension is what it is, but other than that, really good bike.